So, welcome, Cynthia. Thank you for joining us for this conversation.
Oh, thank you. It's such a pleasure to be here. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Can you give us some background on the work that you do and how you've come to it?
Certainly. Yeah, my background actually, I would say started about 26 years ago when I had my first Qigong teacher show up at my restaurant. I used to own a restaurant,
Mhm.
and that was really the start of me going towards the alternative world and learning about energy healing and meridians and all of that interesting, fun stuff of self-healing and self-advancement really is what it taught me. I trained with her for 5 years, and that was really a door that opened really wide. So that was really the start. And then it led me to, after I sold my restaurant, I ended up having about 2 years where I didn't know what I was going to do with the rest of my life. And so I went to the library and I picked up a random book on palmistry. And that book, I mean, definitely changed my life that day because I had this really profound deja vu experience. I felt like I had read it before. I knew everything about what was in that book. It was very strange to me at the time. And the message that I received was, you need to study this again. And
Yes.
so that really led me down the road of doing what I do now.
And what do you do now?
So
What is your
now, I would say now, my ultimate goal is to help people with their ascension, to remember their infinite selves, to reconnect to that authentic being that's inside of them, to access their highest timeline and to live that highest timeline within them.
and you do that through palm reading, through reading
Uh,
hands?
That is the doorway. Yes, I would say that is the doorway to everything about who you are, because
Yeah.
it's the mirror. It shows you the reflection of your soul, your personality, your free will. There's so much in your hands. I mean, it's mind-blowing actually when you dive into it. But that's not the total sum of what I do because since moving to Sedona, which I've been here now for about going on 7 years, I also have a lot of cumulative skills, I guess you would say, from my Qigong background, I've done all sorts of trainings over the years, and I combine it now into what I call the 7 aspects of ascension. So I help people in actually a very structured way
Mhm.
to find the path that is really uniquely meant for them.
And since this summit is on pioneering higher consciousness, how would you define living in the fifth dimension?
Living in the fifth dimension, it's interesting you bring that up, of course. You know, I recently got back from a trip to Egypt, and I was fortunate enough to meditate inside the king's chamber with our little group for over an hour
Mm.
with nobody else there. And it was in the middle of the night. That's how you get to be in there by yourself. So we went at like 3 in the morning, which was pretty amazing. But I received some really profound messages in that chamber while I was meditating. And it leads right back to what you're talking about. So I'm going to read to you what that message was. So the pyramid told me this, by the way, in meditation. So beyond the beyond is the self. Beyond the self is knowledge. Beyond knowledge is love. Ascension leads us back to love. Love brings us back to the one. The one is all that is.
Wow.
And that's 5D living right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it all comes back to love and the one, but it's through the path of the self and learning about the self.
And really the essential, because it's all within each of us.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we're on a path, would you say now, where humanity in larger and larger numbers is beginning to open up.
Yes, 100%. Yes.
And have you seen that with your clients in the last years? Have you seen a kind of quickening of conscious awareness?
Yes. I would say the level of awareness is increasing. And I would say there's a lot more curiosity than there has ever been, which is really refreshing for somebody who's been in this for quite a long time, as I'm sure you have been as well. And, I look back at those old days, those old Qigong days, nobody knew what Qigong was back then. Nobody
No,
knew what energy healing was. Nobody knew what are meridians? People just didn't think like that back then, you
right.
know? And now it's much more commonplace. I think there's a thirst for wisdom
Mm-hmm.
that is beginning to open up. And I feel like it's starting to become a floodgate. I mean, it's exciting. We live in a really exciting time, I think. And there's so much to look forward to, and it's just so interesting. And I think that curiosity is really where you're going to be open to that change. You're going to be open to what's next and what's next for you.
Mm,
You don't have to be stuck or stagnant or struggling. I think we're moving past that victim energy
yeah,
and we're moving into self-empowerment.
yeah, yeah. Do you, I'm sure you come across numerous people on the path who feel stuck.
Yeah.
And how do you interpret that and how do you guide them?
There's different levels of stuckness.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to go back to what are the four things that you're actually in charge of? Okay, it's only four things. So, number one is your thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
What are the thoughts that you're thinking every single day? And a lot of times the subconscious is in charge of the show. And we actually create those subconscious beliefs in our early childhood. And our hand shape also forms at that time, by the way. So we get our archetype by the time we're about 6 years old from our hand shape. So we also are in charge of our feelings. Okay. But again, what feelings are we letting just run rampant?
Mm-hmm.
We have 10 heart chambers in the hands, and each one of those will actually show you what's trapped in your body. And you can identify some of these trapped emotions like guilt or shame or self-loathing, anger. I mean, there's so many things that we need to overcome, right? So we have to work through these thoughts and feelings. Those are the two, I would say, most important ones. But we're also in charge of our actions. And really, it's about aligned action. What are you doing every day that is actually moving you towards 5D or towards ascension or towards a higher consciousness? You need to have a practice. And
Mm-hmm.
if you're not doing a practice, then you need to start one.
Right,
It's that
right.
simple. Like you need to start. And then we've also got responses, right? So most people are in reaction mode. They get triggered. I call them the weapons of mass distraction.
That's good. That's good.
Because
Yes.
that's what they are. And so we're constantly responding to things that are maybe not in our best interest, right? So we have to structure our day in a way where we can have better responses. right? So yeah, it doesn't mean you don't get angry or you don't get triggered or you don't have problems. You know, everybody has problems. But as you start to work with your own ascension path, as you start to recognize your soul, your personality, your free will, you know, all of these things that are in your hands, you don't have the same energy, you know, the same vibration that you did yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Every day just gets a little bit easier and a little bit easier. And pretty soon you're 2 months out or 3 months out and you look back and you go, wow, yeah, that thing back there that used to bother me doesn't bother me anymore.
Yeah.
So it is pretty amazing.
Do you find that do people's hands change over time? You said
Yes.
the
Yes.
initial blueprint or whatever is it when we're about six is
Yeah. Well, that's the hand shape. Okay.
the shape
So
of the hand.
yeah,
Okay.
the hand shape forms by the time you're about 6. That's definitely going to show your subconscious influences. Your soul imprint is going to be in your fingerprints, which
Oh,
never change. They form 5 months before birth.
wow.
And that is definitely your life purpose, your life lesson, your soul agenda, your soul gifts. All of that stuff is going to be in your fingerprints. But your free will is
Mm-hmm.
in your lines. And your lines are absolutely changeable. I've tracked people now over 17 years. You can see progressions and changes.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing. So
Yeah.
I love looking at hands for that reason because they're always so interesting.
And you say those lines will change as people evolve?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So a lot of times people are very fatalistic when it comes to hand reading. They think, oh, this is going to tell me, you know, when I'm going to die or, you know, things like that, which is totally not true, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've ever been told that, that is not true because we can see that evolution in the lines. So yeah, I've tracked quite a few people over many years now, and it is really fun to see what changes and looking at their own progression and their own life progression. It's very exciting.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, it's so interesting in your story how in your evolution the the awareness of palmistry came to you as you were evolving.
Yeah, I know. And it's still growing every day, which is amazing too. I mean, as I have moved to Sedona and now that I mean, I basically live in a vortex, which is pretty
Yes,
cool.
I haven't.
You know,
Yeah,
and they actually found a vortex on our property too, which is pretty amazing. So, yeah, I mean, I'm literally in a vortex almost all the time. So when I moved to Sedona, I started seeing this number 717 over and over and over again. And I don't know if you've ever seen synchronicities with numbers. You know, a lot of people talk about 1111, which
mhm.
I consider that an awakening number. But for me, 717 was a new one that I hadn't seen before. And I'm like, what is this number? So I had to dive into the rabbit hole and figure it out. But it was all about this aspect of the 7 aspects of ascension and the timeline of ascension. And so my work started evolving and changing. And I started receiving messages about the hands are not only the roadmap to everything about you, but they're also portals to your multidimensional self. So you have vortexes here in Sedona or in other sacred places, and you also have these vortexes or portals in your hands. And there's one for every single finger. So you have 10, like 10 fingers, 10 fingerprints, and then you have one in the center of your palm as well. So there's actually 11 portals in your palms. And you can work with these portals energetically to align yourself with your higher self, your higher dimensional self. So it's really an interesting and unique approach to what I now just call ascended palmistry, for
Mhm.
lack of a better term, ascended hand analysis.
Are there many people doing this?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, there's very few hand readers in the world as it is. I mean, even here in Sedona, you would think they'd be really common. They're not. There's just not a lot of people. From my understanding, there's really only a few hundred in the entire world that go to a high level of hand analysis. And beyond that, I don't really know anybody doing the exact work that I'm doing.
How do you interpret that?
I think the information came to me because of my background, because I had been studying it for so long. And it was a natural, I consider hands a language.
Hmm.
So once you learn the language, the higher guidance can start communicating with you in a different way. And
Hmm.
so to me, it was totally natural. Oh, of course, there's portals in your fingerprints. Oh, that totally makes sense to me. Like it was such a natural extension of all the work I had already been doing, with the meridians and Qigong and all that stuff. It all ties together, energy, you
Yeah,
know but it was just so interesting to look at it in more of a structured, focused way because, yeah, each of us has a unique fingerprint, even on one finger, right? Nobody has that exact, pattern minutia that you have. And what I'm learning is that each fingerprint and the type of fingerprint that shows up, where it's located, is not just that roadmap to your soul and your life purpose, but it can also help direct you within the portal that you're working on. So, for example, it can help guide you in just how you work with the thoughts, the feelings, the actions, the responses, and it can really help you understand where you might be stuck. So, I love how it does that because I don't really know any other system that is so thorough and so vast and yet so elegant.
yeah, yeah. Why the hands of all the parts of the body?
That's interesting too when you think about it, because okay, so we can go to neuroscience for this.
Okay.
And neuroscience actually tells us that the hand is connected to 30% of your brain, more than any other part of your body by far. And when you think about it, yes, we use our hands for everything.
Thing.
We communicate with our hands. We drive with our hands. We cook with our hands. We eat with our hands. We do everything with our hands. So, of course, there's going to be this intimate connection between our brain and our hands.
Yes.
And the lines in the hand actually mimic the neural pathways of the brain. And
Wow.
that's when you think of neuroplasticity. Well, of course, the lines change. It makes perfect sense because our brains change, our thinking changes. So there has to be some way for it to reflect that.
Yes.
So if it stayed the same, well, then we wouldn't have that free will, would we? I mean,
No.
it would be just like, well, you're just on for the ride and you're stuck.
Yeah.
And that's
Fascinating.
definitely not the case.
Yeah. Yeah. And this, and what is your perspective on where we're going at this time?
Yes. So this goes back to that 717.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay, so I was told in a hypnosis session, by the way, so this is how I verified this information. Besides I do this process also called automatic writing. So I go into meditation, I write out information that comes through. I'm in sort of a trance state. I've been doing that for a long, long time. But sometimes you still want to get an outside, confirmation. So I did this QHHT hypnosis session down in Scottsdale. And I just wanted to know because I had been seeing this 717 over and over again for, weeks. And the message came through really clearly that we are now in the time of ascension. And so
Mhm.
if you take the Mayan calendar, which ended in December 21st, 2012, and a lot of people thought that was going to be the end of the world. There
Exactly.
was so much
There are all
fear.
these there are all these cosmic markers, right?
Yeah, so much fear around that time,
Mm.
which of course I didn't have that fear. But it was interesting to see the responses, right, of other people going, "Oh, well, we're at the end of a major cycle of time," and it was what the Mayans call a great year. So the great year is about 26,000 years, just under 26,000 years. So when that time ended, that was essentially just marking we're moving into a new cycle of time. We're
Right.
moving into a new great year. And what I learned in that hypnosis session is that uh, there is a lag time. There's an integration period of time. And
Mhm.
they told me it was about 17 years. And so that's why the 17 came up in my number.
Oh.
So I'm like, oh, okay. So if you take the Mayan calendar, the end of 2012, and you add 17 years to it, you get 2029.
Mm.
And so this is essentially right now from the end of 2012 to the end of 2029. This is our cycle of integration. And so I've been told in multiple meditations from the higher guides, that's essentially the end of that integration period.
Mm.
So by the end of 2029, we should all be in that 5D consciousness. And we can move the timeline up based
Mhm.
upon our free will, based upon our actions, our thoughts, our feelings, our
Right.
responses, the things we do every day,
Yeah.
and really embodying that higher consciousness, that love energy,
Yeah.
remembering that we are all one, we are all connected, we have a soul, we're infinite. The more we actually know that and embody that every minute of every day, it's going to accelerate the timeline.
Yeah. And it's going to change the way we're organized as people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's going to change a lot of things.
Yeah.
So I would say if you're new to this, you're not too late.
Mhm.
Definitely nobody is too late at this point. But is it time to start? If you haven't started, absolutely.
Yeah. Because the
And if
catch up is going to be almost impossible.
yes, and it should be a priority for everybody now.
Yeah.
So, especially those of us who have been trying to help others, trying to get the word out, trying to elevate that consciousness. Trust me, I feel the pressure of like, can I relax? No, no, I can't. I need to get my work out there. I mean, I've got to ramp it up as best I can.
And are you doing that now?
I am.
What are you doing?
Well, I'm in a new movie.
Tell us about
So
what's that about?
yeah, so it's called Pillars of Power. So this
Hmm.
is definitely me getting completely out of my comfort zone because one of my life lessons is actually hiding out. So for me to be in a movie is a really big deal. But Pillars of Power is a beautiful movie. If you ever saw the movie The Secret that came out about 20 years ago, there are 7 original cast members from that movie, The Secret, in Pillars of Power. So Jack Canfield, Lisa Nichols, John Assaraf, some big names are in this movie. Sonia Choquette. I'm super excited to be part of this movie. And it really is to help you step into the secrets behind achieving greatness. So it doesn't say ascension or 5D consciousness per se, but that is absolutely what it is about.
Who's who is producing it and
It
directing?
is produced by the Los Angeles Tribune.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah, so they wanted to branch out into documentary film. And the CEO of the LA Tribune, his name is Mo Rock. He is tired of the bad news, the doom and gloom, which is so hilarious because
That is
I
hysterical. Because
mean,
that's how the news makes its money on doom
ex
and
exactly. So that is why I was really drawn to this movie because I have been tired of the doom and gloom for a long time.
gloom. Not only that, but
Yeah,
hiding because it really there hasn't been an audience. I mean, The Secret came out 20 years ago. A lot has gone on since The Secret.
for sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. This is very exciting. This is really coming out.
Yes.
Are you in this movie in the role that your life role?
Yes. Everybody plays themselves. It's a documentary that's put together very beautifully. And the voices that are in the movie, mine included, is really coming from the heart
I love it.
and sharing from the heart what we see as how do we really step into that greatness? What is possible? How can we elevate ourselves?
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful movie. I'm very, very proud of that movie. I'm excited to be part of it. It's gonna be big.
Are you in production now or have you finished? Has it wrapped?
Yes, it's all wrapped. It's all
Wow.
wrapped. So yeah, you can go out and see it.
Is it available?
It's going to be in theaters starting in the West Coast. You can go to their website, thepillarsofpower.com, to really see what the scheduling is and everything else. But yeah, it is going to be worldwide. I do know that because Ken Honda is in it, who is like the number one money coach in Japan. And so there's going to be some big promos in Japan. I mean, it's going to be really exciting.
And the context, instead of using words like ascension, is is more 3D.
Yeah, of course, because
It
they
has
have
to,
they have to go through the doorway of the masses.
of course.
I mean, that's just how it is.
Yeah.
So the pillars, right? We talk about five pillars of power. That's essentially what the movie's about.
Mhm.
And the five pillars focus on the five areas of life that really impact how well or how not well you're living your life. So,
Beautiful.
for example, money, health, spirituality, mental wellness, and relationships. So, those are the five pillars that are discussed in the movie.
This is so exciting. Wow.
Yeah, it is. And it's time, right? It's time. It's
Oh,
20 years past The Secret. It's time.
it's 20 years past The Secret, and a lot has happened in 20 years on in terms of the consciousness, the raising of the consciousness on the planet.
Yeah, for sure.
That's
So
very exciting.
I think so. Yeah.
When, so when will it come out on the West Coast?
Well, the launch
Will they launch?
premiere is June 11.
Oh, it's coming. Yeah.
So yeah, June 11 is launch premiere day. And I know they're going to be going into the West Coast and Arizona first, and then they're going to be moving towards the East Coast. So I know that's the progression. And yeah, they did make a deal with AMC theaters.
Yeah.
So I know it's going to be in at least some select theaters. And so, yeah, the best way to really find out is just to go to the website.
And then, do you represent one of the pillars in your work?
I was lucky enough to be featured in multiple pillars in the movie. So
Wonderful.
I was really happy about that because my work really does branch into, multiple areas. Of course, what's near and dear to my heart is spirituality. I love the spiritual realm. I love helping people connect with their divine selves and their spiritual selves, their soul
Right.
selves.
And you're a pioneer in that area, for sure.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. This is such an exciting conversation. It's you're really bridging.
Yeah, I'm trying. And that's, where a lot of people have misperceptions about hand analysis too. I mean, it's actually one of the oldest sciences in the world. It's over 5,000 years old.
Where did it originate?
We think it originated in either China or India,
Okay.
but it is ancient. And it has gone, of course, underground. It was banned in 1559 in Italy. Punishment was death, by the way, at that time. So, if you were practicing palm reading in Italy, you could have been burned at the stake.
It was essentially witchcraft, the
Yeah,
same sort of thing. It was
yeah,
knowledge that the powers that be did not want out.
exactly.
Yeah,
But if you go
yeah.
further back, it was taught in universities in the 1400s. It was the third book ever published on the Gutenberg press.
No.
Yeah, I know. I know. These are facts.
Mhm.
And Aristotle, he taught it to Alexander the Great. It was well respected. And then, what happened? It was deemed witchcraft. It was buried, and it's taken a long time for it to come back. And I still feel like it is coming back. It's not even there yet.
Well, and I would say definitely that in the larger consciousness and the waking up that people are doing now, it is not taught. It's not, there's not an awareness of it. First of all, there are not a lot of people doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then, so if people are on a spiritual path, an ascension path, there's so many other things, right, that
Yes,
have come
true.
into awareness and that people are practicing and doing.
That's very
Um,
true. And I do have a theory behind that as well as to why that is.
why?
I feel like people just don't study hand analysis in depth because it's hard. It's hard to learn if you are brand new to it and you pick up a random book on palmistry. There's going to be a million things talking about this line doing that this line doing that, this going over here. There's so many details, and it can be daunting to a beginner who isn't ready for, oh, I'm learning a foreign language.
Mhm.
That's the that's the energy that it takes. It's like, yeah, you're learning a foreign language. For me, it was just so natural because of that deja vu experience. It was like I was woken up. Oh, yeah, remember, you're a hand reader. I mean,
Because
it
because
was
you
like
had
that.
done it before,
Oh, yeah, I've probably done it in many
many
lifetimes.
lifetimes. Yes.
Yeah, for me, it's just natural. But what I love to do, I love teaching people as well. So anybody who is interested in learning how to read hands, I totally do that. And I try to fast track it so that you can not waste your time on stuff that really isn't accurate. See, when I first started, I was reading, maybe, I don't know, 50, 60 books on palmistry. A ton of books. And I was noticing that there was information that was inconsistent. So my brain is like, well, what is it? Like, what's correct? And it took a while for me. I would say my first probably 3 to 4 years of reading hands was sorting through that information.
Wow.
It took a while, but now it's very natural to me, and it totally makes sense. And I did do some formal training as well. But it's one of those things, right? You want to find a good teacher who knows what they're doing and they can help you fast track it. But is it worthwhile? I think absolutely it's worthwhile. It's one of the best modalities out there.
For if, yeah, for the information that you can get.
Exactly. Because it's so specific and it's just so dialed in, you know? I mean, yeah, we have other tools that are equally, I would say equally good, right? We have astrology, we have numerology, we have Chinese astrology. I mean, I love all these things. Any tool that can get you to self-awareness is good.
Exactly.
But you should definitely know what your hands have to say because your hands are unique to you.
And it's very comprehensive.
Yes, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Cynthia, thank you for your time.
Well, my
And
pleasure.
and we'll have the all the information on the in the summit so that people can get a hold of you. And yeah, is there anything else you have to share with us for all of our coming out into 5D and our hearts and
Yes, yes,
lives?
I do actually. I have a little invocation that I channeled
Mm,
that is to help you connect to this higher consciousness from your higher self. All right. So for anyone who's interested in like participating, you can just go ahead and put both of your hands over your heart. This is a good way to do it. This is connecting that point in the hand called
mhm,
I call this the Uranus point of change, also connects to the cosmic heart.
mhm.
And you can just put that right on your own heart. All right. And then just follow along with me. Higher self, please anchor and balance my elements and DNA to return back to harmony in all timelines and all dimensions now. I connect to the earth below my feet and the higher density consciousness as I welcome and allow my higher self to co-create with me. I welcome healing and activation of my highest timeline and highest potential now. Thank you. And so it is. And just breathe that in and just soak it all up.
My cat is soaking it up too.
Yay.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate this opportunity. And yeah,
And we'll be looking forward to the movie.
yes, everybody should go see the movie. It's really beautifully done. So,
Good.
yes, thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.